When talking about restaking, right, it's difficult to not talk about EigenLayer because that's where everything started from, right? And it was the token launch of the cycle, right, which captured a lot of mind share. And I know that you don't like calling Symbiotic and EigenLayer competitors. Where do you stand in that? Why do you think you're not a competitor?
Yeah, our mission is wider. The things we can do with our architecture are become a different level as far as I can see, as well as the business. We're neutral. Like we don't spell. We can cater to way wider audience. And yeah, that's why we took all to be called shared security. EigenLayer now wants to be called that as well. Staking is part of it. If we were just simply restaking protocol, that would be like putting us in the competition that I get there of some sort. Because the goal, the end game are completely different. Their end game, as far as I understand it, is to create a standardized cloud with one service per each, one interop that's like partner on them, exclusive with them, like one data availability solution that's even called EigenDA. Here, I'm not sure like any DA solution is going to be launching on them because they already have their own. So the scale we can reach is completely different because with the current approach, at least that's how it's used. They can only get one of which we will get everyone. Right. So yeah, this doesn't sound like a competition. There's different approaches. Okay. But like it's not competitive. They'll have some portion of all the set and we will have everything else. We've been public for 3.5, right? Something around that month. Our ecosystems are comparable. In terms of like the quality of protocols, I would say ours better. Already there. So yeah, no, the EigenLayer, like again, they have around 40 networks that are like worth something. We have around 40 as well, but like the quality of ours, I would say better. In terms of mainnet, we are the first production restaking with like shared security protocol. So like we'll have to pioneer a lot of stuff. Need to figure out the lockup period. Those details were never done in protocol because they're not production. Lockup schedules for networks because there might be different and they might change. Slashing mechanisms, resolver committees, reward models. A lot of this stuff was never figured out because we don't have that anywhere. Right. So it's not going to be quick, but once it starts going, the flywheel effect will take force because every other network that launches, we'll see examples of somebody that launched that get traction, that token model work, and like the strategy for acquisitions of stake worked, operator set. I think around Q2 2025, the flywheel will be noticeable, really noticeable. Just the pure speed of innovation that we can reach will be already something that will be really visible. We are waiting for the network scale to get to a point where it's going to be. We don't want to rush it, because first one is going to be really visible. So we don't want to rush anyone. But our code was freeze for 3 months already. Yeah, it's infrastructure. It takes that hype,
right? Because for all these shared security protocols, the more trivial, the more economic security you can guarantee to your networks, right? As we mentioned, within the first 3 weeks, you were able to get like a massive 1 billion TVL, and then you, in fact, paused the deposits. I think you're at 1.6 billion of TVL. Eigen is at 10 billion, and Kadaka at 600 million. How do you look at the TVL games, and how do you plan on like attracting more?
We don't need more and more. This is common misconception about TVL free staking protocols. It's an optimization game. The greatest shared security protocol is zero TVL. Like, why would you need TVL? Our design is transitory and great for this market cycle, but might be optimized further. Let's say you have 10, 20 networks, right? 20 networks that are using 500 million, like half a billion TVL to secure yourselves. They're just starting, so half a bill is a lot. Yeah, right? Like you don't need that much for most networks. They're just starting, they're getting like half a bill each. Because it's five times optimized, it's like relating to, so 2 billion can secure 20 really like medium sized networks. Yeah. But like EigenLayer has 0 right now. Yeah. Okay, actually launched. So 10 billion is not something like that's why they're losing slowly their TVL. It's like goes down a bit because people start to figure out the simple like napkin math here. Like we can actually like with our like 1.7, 9.6, we can secure 17 networks. Once we get to that, perfect. Like nobody needs 10 billion out of the box. Name one network that has that. Chainlink has that, around that, but they're not all staked. Yeah, if you're planning to launch a new Ethereum with 300 billion of stable coins, perfect. Yeah, you'll need that. But it's a really bullish outcome that looking at EigenLayer networks, we don't expect 10 new Ethereums. The part about TVL is that if you don't have actually networks launched, because currently like EigenLayer is paying for the full parts just with their own tokens. They don't have rewards like for anything. Like maybe networks don't actually pay. They need to dilute their token more and more for just to supply this 10 billion. It's good marketing, but the math is simple. Anyone can do this calculation in their head. So yeah, like we are at comfortable. For this stage, once we get to mainnet, it's gonna change. Yeah, because like their model is gonna be completely different because the stake is gonna be for the first time for us. Right. We'll see where it gets us. But again, restaking protocols and share security protocols are for optimization. If we get enough of the menu and enough of networks not launching, that's again the interesting part about it. I don't consider them to be like competition because their market share is like infinitely small too. And I see the market there that are actual competition, native launches. Yeah. Like protocols, the networks that actually launch on their own, right? Not using share security at all. And they're like maybe 99%, 99.9% of the market. Right. So would you consider the guy that has infinitely small portion, like 0.001%, yeah, to be your competition, or the whole ocean there, yeah, like where nobody's using EigenLayer more for symbiotic as well? Okay. Like it's too early for us to compete in any meaningful way. It's mostly like marketing because people really like to crash us together and like I'll show you around as your enemy. And if we're actually like really supportive of each other, because I see inefficiencies and like suboptimal stuff like that's really big in terms of how they design things and how they approach things. Otherwise, I wouldn't create the teams correctly. Yeah. Like I think they don't like something around us as well. But again, like our main competitor is native launches. They're bigger than us by orders of magnitude, and people are still think that we will still have to change minds for people to understand that cool guys are going to be using with shared security and not going to be spending like a lot of money and a lot of time wasting creating their own staking modules and creating their own economic security models.
Very interesting.